Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, apologize for being inactive for the last few weeks. I've been working really hard, been really busy actually for the last few weeks. Hence, there was a bit of a delay. Before I get started, wish everyone a very happy Easter. Hopefully you guys have eaten plenty of chocolates and had a good break with family and friends. Look, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. As you guys may know or may not know, that I'll be traveling to Europe within the next few weeks. I want to actually share some travel tips with you. Now, I'm not a frequent traveler or anything like that, but I've been working in the hospitality industry, or specifically hotel industry, in the last 13, 15 years. So I guess I want to share a bit of experience that I have. Just picture yourself, you're planning for a trip for wherever, Europe, America, or wherever, and you save up all this money. Wouldn't it be nice to get some ideas, how to save a little bit of hotel fees or airline fees or anything like, or activities and things like that. So I'm going to break this video probably in three parts. For the first part will be in hotels, some tips about how to book rooms and things like that. Second part will be airlines, and the third part is actually how I plan for my trip. I actually do a lot of study before I do a trip, and just try to get the best value for money, I guess. If I can save $10 here, hey, it's $10, a meal later down the track. So, and every $5, $10, $20, or $50, this all adds up to your trip. And especially coming to airlines, you can save, $200-300. Just by studying and researching and be flexible. So let me know if this video will help you guys. I'll put a poll up. If it helps you, please say yes. If it doesn't help you, then I won't make this video. So first part will be hotels. Now, as I said, I've been working in the hotel industry for the past 13, 15 years, and I've worked from front desk to back of house reservations, revenue, and things like that. How hotel works is, I won't get too technical. If you do want to know the very technical side and how the back end, how everything works, let me know. I'll make a separate video. So basically how hotel pricing works is they use a pricing model called dynamic pricing, whereas the price changes every single day, up to every single hour, depending on a lot of things, hotel occupancy, demands, days of the week, competitors, rates, and things like that. Hence why when you guys search for rooms, you can go Monday is $100, and then suddenly Tuesday is $200, and then you go, look, why is that? Just want to say, look, I'm not a expert in revenue management. Okay, I have worked with a lot of revenue manager. I've been working in the back end or the reservation side, revenue side for many years, and my understanding method is not probably is not the most knowledgeable compared to everyone else, but I think I just want to share some tips with you and give you some rough ideas how they price, and hopefully I can save you a few dollars when you guys planning your trip. And I'm pretty sure this is more related to Australia, Sydney in particular, but I'm pretty sure this principle applies to all around the world. And look, if people don't agree with me, fair enough. Please leave in the comments below and maybe share some of your experience with me as well. Or if you're expert revenue manager out there, please let me know as well. So tip number one is you got to be flexible. Okay. Well, first of all, when you travel, I always travel during the low season. Now, what do I mean by low season? Normally, in most places, is winter time. Okay, for Australia, Sydney specifically, it's winter time, or you go into during the low season. There is no point going. You're not gonna save a lot of money when you go into high season, when the peak season, all the travelers there, things like that. Obviously, yes, you want to go there when the celebrations are on. But for me, I personally always go during the low season. Why? Because the flights are cheaper, the hotels are cheaper, you get less people, you get less tourists. It's not so crowded, so I don't see the reason. Unless, look, you want to go to a sunny beach area and you go during winter. Yes, it doesn't work. But normally, if you're sightseeing, if you are going around, you'll be going from city to city. I always go to the low season, during low season. Sorry. So tip number one is you got to be flexible. because hotels do price differently between weekdays, weekends, even date of the day of the week is very different as well. The location is very different. For example, you have a CBD hotel will price very differently compared to a suburban area, let's say Parramatta area. You know, for CBD you have a lot of what we call FIT guests, or what's the word, leisure guests, whereas Parramatta you have a lot of corporate guests. So for example, in Parramatta, in the Parramatta precinct, the weekend will be very quiet apart from, unless if there's a race on or if there's an event during the Sydney Olympic Park. So their busiest period will be probably what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday to be more specific. Then Thursday, Friday quietens down. Saturday, Sunday will be very low in occupancy. And you can actually go there and have a look at Expedia and have a compare the different rates and things like that. Versus CBD hotel could be very different. CBD will still have a lot of corporate during Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday, Saturday is very busy. Obviously, people going to town. Sunday is very quiet, because if you actually think about it, people don't travel on Sunday because they got to work on Monday. So Sunday is actually a more of a quieter period during the weekend. So tip number one is you have to be flexible. Okay. Tip number two is you got to keep monitoring your pricings. Obviously, before you book your trip, you do all your research, you do TripAdvisor, blah blah blah, whatever. You lock down maybe 2 hotels, 3 hotels, or whatever, and you probably monitor for a period of time. I normally do about 2 to 3 weeks. Every 2 days, every 3 days, just have a look how the price changes, and you just keep monitoring price changes. And that's where you then look at, weekdays. Are they more busy in the weekdays, or are they more busy in the weekends? And once again, it all comes down to location as well. So tip number two is you got to monitoring price changes for a period of, I'd say probably about 2 weeks, for you to get an idea how they price change. And you probably even can do a spreadsheet if you really want to see how they actually do it. 3 is join membership, guys. It is free. You'll take you 5 minutes of your time. You'll get a lot of sometimes, yes, if you're a new member, you have no status or anything, but you never know. You might get complimentary stuff, early checking, or whatever or whatever the membership offers you. But the most important thing is that there is a lot of offers. Sometimes when you join membership, there is special flash sales, 30%, 50%. Some hotels offer 50% off for their members. And if you see that, you book it. It's a no-brainer. So join hotel memberships, airline membership, it's absolutely free. Yes, they will spam your email. Look, at the end of the day, just unsubscribe once you finish your trip. So I think join membership. Also Expedia, Booking.com, all these websites, go and join the membership. I think it's absolutely worth it. It'll take 5 minutes of your time, but it could save you $10, $30, $50 later down the track. Okay, so that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is booking. So I reckon you start to plan your holiday about 5-6 months before, and actually starting to look at hotel. Obviously, you do all your you do all your studies prior to that. You, like, for example, TripAdvisor, things like that. You lock down maybe 2 to 3 hotels that you think that you're going to stay in, and once you find a particular hotel that you want to stay, you make your booking. Now, when you make your booking, you do not book the prepaid offer. Okay, do not book the things that you have to prepay upfront. I think Expedia and Booking.com is really good in some of the pricing that they have, where you can book now and pay later. And I think that's a really good option for you guys to have. The reason why is because there could be, if you're booking 6 months before, 5-6 months before, is there could be sales going on during that period. Price will change and things like that. So you always book the flexible rates for during that period, and you just monitor the price every few weeks. Okay, and if you found maybe it's 3 weeks down the track, you found that the flexible rate has become cheaper, you cancel your old one, book the new one. But before you do, always book first, then cancel, because you never know what's going to happen. Someone might have taken the room like that. So you always book secure your room first before you cancel your old reservation. All right. Normally, you see a lot of fluctuation in terms of price about 3 to 4 months before, because normally hotel actually only, well, they're more, how can I say, they are more focused for the current month, next month, and the third month. So you see a lot of price fluctuation 3 to 4 months before. I personally, I booked a hotel room a few months before. I monitor. I just keep monitoring, even up to the day I'm checking in before. If you haven't booked a prepay rate, you can always cancel and rebook. And if you found a cheaper deal elsewhere, you might as well. $10 saving here could be a meal down the track. And every $10 will add up. Eventually, you become $100. And that will probably only take you what 10-15 minutes. And could save you a lot of money. So tip number 4 is monitor the rates about 5-6 months before, book about 3-4 months before. Look, even 5-6 months before if you found a really good deal. And then just monitor the rate as you go, and you just do it. You don't have to go every single day. You just go, whenever you thought about it, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Just have a look out if they have reduced it. When you join the membership, they have a lot of sales going on. There could be flash sale. Sometimes you get up to 40%, 50%, $1 breakfast. So don't book the prepaid saver package or whatever way before. Now, circumstances do change. For example, this is very general. You're not gonna apply the same principle during a special event period. So, for example, New Year's Eve, or State of Origin, or Grand Final. So this is just for very day-to-day booking. Okay, does not apply to special event period, because these rates they will probably set the year before to be very high. So that's tip number 4. Tip number 5, it is more to do with Sydney, I guess. So with Sydney, normally the low season period is during mid-April up to about end of September. October onwards is sort of the high season. February, March is also high season as well. Why is mid-April to June is sort of the winter period. Hence there is not that much demand, and hence why it is the low season. So if you compare rates from February, March this year in Sydney, obviously there was a lot of concerts on. Rates in CBD will be average about 230, 250, up to sometimes they'll be selling 600-700. Whereas the same point in time, if you look at April or April, May, same days of the week, you'll see the rates a lot cheaper because it is the low season. So if for international travelers, if you are coming to Sydney, come during April, May, June, sort of July period, excluding any special events, like for example State of Origin or like Mardi Gras, these kind of stuff. These rates, no matter what these ones you do have to actually book early, because hotels expect these dates to be fully booked, and price will just keep going up and up and up. So my tip is basically just for your general days of the week of traveling, no special events or anything that is happening. If you are coming down during Christmas period, it is actually very, very cheap for hotels. I'm not sure about airline rates, but I think if you book a few weeks before the actual Christmas days and things, Boxing Day, it is quite cheap. But specifically for hotel during Christmas, it is actually really, really cheap. Because if you actually think about it, a lot of the domestic travelers, they're not traveling. Either they would have been gone already overseas, or they'll be with their family. So the only demand that you get is from international travelers coming to Sydney or Australia during that period of time. Hence why you don't get that much of a high demand. All of your corporate guests will be already on holiday. So therefore, during the Boxing Day, I think Christmas, not Boxing Day, starting from about the 22nd, 23rd of December, leading up to even New Year's Eve, the hotel rates will be really cheap. Obviously, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day will be very expensive. So there you go, guys. Without making the video too long, these are just some of the tips that I have been using when I book my trip. If you want to know a bit more, let me know. Put in the comments below, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. But the basic principle of travel cheap, or actually at least save some money, is plan ahead, do your research, keep monitoring price changes, monitoring hotels, um, and avoid traveling during peak periods such as concerts, sporting games, and look at the location. CBD, as I said, CBD will price very differently to suburban. My next video will be about airlines and some tips about how I use, or how I try to find cheaper deals on airlines, and some of the websites I go. And so yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave in the comments below, or press the like button if it has helped you. If you have used my strategy and actually has saved you some money, please let me know. I'll be really happy that if you found this being a useful tip. I will put everything that I've discussed in the comments box below, so you don't need to rewind the videos. And so yeah, until next time, I will see you guys, and take care. Bye bye.